Margot Robbie says, don't expect any Joker in Birds of Prey. Zachary Levi claims Shazam saved his life. And we're kicking off 2020 with new pictures of Gal Gadot, our Wonder Woman, in Washington, D.C. Today and more on DC Movie News.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's DC Movie News.
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the
Look at us.
created.
Look at us.
Three of us.
Look at us. Oh, that's the Paul Rudd. Look at us. Hey, look at us. Look
Where's
at us.
that from?
Who would have thought? Not me. The Wings thing. It's a clip. Come on, you guys know what that is.
From Wings?
Not from Wings, the TV show.
Ryan wants us to take it again. There we go.
Yeah.
2020, baby.
Look at us.
So, wait, you were watching Wings, the TV show?
No, there's a clip from Paul Rudd. He was on the Eating Wings Hot Challenge, and there's a big gift.
spicy
Oh my
ones.
God,
And he goes, "Look at
hot
us.
ones. How old are you
Look
guys?
at us. Look at us. Who would have thought? Not me. It's this great back and forth that people use with everything. I love it. My girlfriend and I do it all the time.
Eating wings.
So I called it
Spicy
Wings.
ones.
Is it
Hot
not-
ones.
Hot ones.
Oh, I'm sorry that he's eating wings. I thought the show was called Wings. I'm sorry. Jeez.
Ryan, help.
Happy New Year.
Help me, Ryan.
Welcome
Happy
to
New
another
Year.
episode of DC Movie News.
Hi, guys. Getting myself on the right foot, as always I do.
It is Hot Ones.
Thank you, guys.
I know it's hot ones.
You should. You're
You
a
clearly
food
don't.
guy.
I want a hot one. I actually
You
just
have a hot one.
Thank you. I just had a lot of hot ones because I was in Nashville and Memphis. And I ate hot chicken all week, and that stuff is really hot, and it hurts your chest.
Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought?
Not me.
Thank you, Ryan. There it is. Look at us.
Okay.
Look at us.
There
Look
you
at
go.
us.
Thank you so
Who would have
much.
thought? Not me.
Worth it.
Wow,
Thanks, buddy.
this is shocking. I'm so happy to see Mike Kalinowski
We're kicking
here.
off the year right. It's a new year. It's a new me. You know, things have been changing. Things are in the fire. We're going strong, and I'm starting off right.
Possibly even more exciting and unexpected is to see Roxy Stryer here.
She is here. I am she. Here I am. Let me ask you this question, Adam, though. Is 2014 November the first show we did?
2014? Is that possible?
Because then have we been on air for 2014? I know it's the end,
I
but
came in-
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20?
I was
or is it
February of
2015?
2015. I was February 2015.
So,
That was the meeting I
so
joined.
2014 we started.
You guys were in 14. You started.
Really?
I was February 15. I came on.
Wow, this has been a long running gig. This
For
has been...
the majority of the decade, we were on DC Movie News.
And now we're gonna start a new decade.
And for that entire
true.
time, Dwayne Johnson was supposed to be Shazam, and that's still going to happen.
Yeah, that's also been announced forever. Yeah.
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 Well, you know what? It's
Black
so
Adam.
yeah, Black Adam.
Yeah.
So how crazy is it though that side note before we even get into actual news, I was just noticing again that there's like 4 months between like Black Adam and Shazam 2.
That's well.
Wow.
All right.
That there's
I'm into
no
it.
DC between that. Like they're very obviously going to link those two up in some cool way. And
I'm
I think
into it.
I'm excited. To see that.
I finally put Shazam into my Christmas rotation because it's a Christmas movie to me.
Does it
set-
feel good at
It
Christmas?
sets at Christmas. It's got a great warm feeling about it, and I was watching it several times over the holidays.
Great.
Where are the chocolate balls?
You didn't ask me about him. You didn't talk about him. So you didn't get any. And you know what? You still have my Pyrex from last year, so you didn't give it to me. So you know you get any. You didn't get any, Roxy. You didn't get any.
Let's be clear about one
Ask my
thing.
girlfriend about my balls. She
I
loved
asked you
them.
about your balls 40 times.
Not yet. You haven't. Not this year. You haven't.
That is not true.
Last year, you're like, these balls are delicious. I want them next year too. And I was like, well, ask me about
And
them.
then I
didn't ask me
asked you
about
this year. Oh my God, maybe if you showed up for DC Movie News more often, I could have asked you on air.
This
them.
is
You
true.
didn't get
That's
any this
good,
year.
right?
You didn't get any this year.
I know, I
Mike, do
do
you
have your
think?
Pyrex.
Do you
Yeah,
think
buddy.
that can the people expect to see more of you on DC
Absolutely.
movies in
I'm
2020?
I'm changing things up this year. You know, there's a lot of stuff that happened last year. There's a lot of stuff that, I got to balance stuff better. It was a great year. It was a wonderful year compared to 2018 for me professionally. But I'm going to be more for myself this year. A lot of more Mike content, and DC is a huge part of that. When I talk about stuff I do, it's the audience is DC. They found me from here. I was talking about starting and finishing my novel, and everyone that's like, I'll buy it. It's all DC fans. So it's like, I neglected.
love you
I neglected my
guys.
fans. I neglected
it's
my
true,
fans
it's
for not being
true.
here, and that's on me. And I'm going to do everything I
And
can to remedy that. this year.
I also saw that you said something online about like negativity online. and
But that's on me. And again, that's on me. I wake up in the morning and I go to Twitter, and it could be politics, it could be something, or it's someone just like, Shazam sucks, Mike, and you
Right.
suck too. So I would see that in the morning, and then that sets my day off.
You're filterless.
I can't wake up
Which
and just like,
could
well,
be a good thing.
I'm going to dust that off and just go to my day.
Yeah.
It sets me in a bad mood, so I start the day now with my admiration and appreciation.
Yeah.
And as someone in my life, it could be friends, family, strangers that I don't know just through Twitter that admire or inspire me.
He posted the
and every
nicest
day
thing on the
I
planet
write that
today.
about someone, so it sets me off in a wonderful mood.
You're the greatest.
You inspired me to do it because you did 365 days, but they were just of you. But it was still just admire. It was inspirational.
What, were they
You
just
took it
different?
the next step further. Yours is better. I
Well,
agree.
I enjoyed seeing the pictures of you rock. So,
Thank
but
you.
you stuck to
I did
to
stuck
it.
to it.
So it's
Stick
a,
to it. I did.
you
I
know.
did.
So you'd have like, wow, you did 365 pictures of just you?
Are you kidding?
I know.
Do you care about me at all?
No, I guess I've seen the pictures every day. I've seen most of them. I'm just wondering like when we can get our first Roxy Stryer calendar.
Hey.
Well, I just don't understand.
Like between all those pictures, you could at least get 12 for a
you
freaking
don't know,
calendar.
my New Year's resolution last year was to post 365 pictures of myself.
And success.
No,
I
I
did
did
it.
not know that.
I did.
I knew it. I mean, I saw the pictures, but I did not know that that was a resolution. Like, that's a weak resolution because that would have happened pretty much anyway.
No, my God, it was the hardest resolution I've ever done.
Really?
Yeah, by far. I've had some pretty crazy ones, but it's hard.
To what you said, Adam, I still am going to debate DC. Don't get me wrong. I'll still come after people that have a hard opinion. I'm still going to stick to that. I'm not going to like suddenly be nice on Twitter.
Okay.
I'm still going to stick to my guns. It's still going to be me. It's just not first thing in the morning.
Okay, just
Yeah.
warm
It'll
up.
be later in the day.
Get your cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Maybe get a chance
I'll
to get
still
on the
be out
right
there
side of
fighting
the
good
bed.
fight. The BVS is wonderful, guys. Don't think that. Do not think that I've gone soft on that stuff.
We don't think
I've
so.
still got your back with DC, guys. Do not worry.
Just wanted to start, Adam, if it's okay with you, with a
Yeah.
few shout-outs, because we have over 150 people watching live right
Get
now.
outta here.
It is the first show of DC Movie News of 2020.
Starting off right.
So we are on the Popcorn Talk Network. In case any of you guys don't know, we are live every single Friday, 1 p.m. Pacific time. You guys can join the conversation live if you go to YouTube, or after if you want to listen to us, iTunes, SoundCloud, everywhere we are, where all the places that podcasts are. But just shout out to these people that come week after week to watch our show. You guys are in here all the time. Just a few of you guys I'm only going to be able to mention right now. Mike Riley, Saitama, Archie, Jenna James, Ivan Soto,
Saitama.
Global CPUI, Senior Nerd, Manny Gonzalez, Lego Dude 21, Ryan Peterson, Haskell 420, Spencer Straub, Jack Dennis. I'll give more shout outs throughout the rest of the show, but just those are the most recent people that are chatting right now.
Fudge Packer's also
thank
looking
you.
for Mikey's chocolate
Black
balls.
Bantha.
as well.
I get it. His chocolate balls are the best of the balls. So thank you guys all for joining us. Like Mike said, you guys are such amazing fans, and
Absolutely,
we really,
the
really
best.
appreciate you guys being here.
Somebody's just mentioning, I'm curious, you are a BVS fan. How did you like Witcher?
I haven't watched it yet.
You haven't?
No, I'm so far behind on my TV, guys.
yeah.
So Witcher starring Henry Cavill,
Yes.
our very own Superman.
I thought it was so much fun. I mean, I can recognize that it's kind of a bad show in certain ways, but it's also kind of awesome. It's just the right kind of bad.
Okay.
And
a
there's some
sword
great
and-
action in
I'm
there.
not a sword and sandals
No, I know
type
you're
guy.
not. I know you're not, and I am. Also, people criticize it for the gratuitous nudity. I was a fan of it.
What's
It
wrong with a
wasn't
little
gratuitous for
gratuitous?
me because it kept me watching, which was the point of the show. So I think
It's like
actually
Spartacus for me.
I think it served. Oh my God, Spartacus had
That was the best.
everybody was naked in Spartacus. That was
Loved it.
just that was an incredible show. That is still an underappreciated show.
Agreed.
Because I love a great action.
Penis.
You know.
I didn't know what you were
Who
going to say,
doesn't?
so I just tried to
Who
fill in the
doesn't?
blanks. Also, shout out to Paul Denuzio in the chat right now
Oh,
with
buddy
the super
Paul.
chat. Much love to you guys. I'm trying to find more time for DC. Great people, great content. We appreciate
Look
that.
at him being nice to me.
Also, our very own Ricky Middlesworth in the chat
Ricky.
right now. We
Hey,
love
buddy.
you, Ricky. Thanks for being here. Also, the most amazing person in the chat and of all time, Shannon Barney, everybody.
What?
What?
Where is she? Oh boy, there she is. She's mad at me right now, though.
Why, what happened?
Because she gave me crap this morning. She's like, "Hey, so your post about rocks, it was awesome. I think you need to go back and redo mine." And I was like, "Excuse me," because she was the very first
yours
one.
about her was amazing.
She was the first
Okay.
one, so she tells me
Part of
I
the
need to
appreciation
redo
post.
it.
Yeah.
So I'm a little. She's in the doghouse.
And for anybody who doesn't know, that's Mikey's lady.
It's my girl.
Oh, and she's mad at you.
She's trying to be mad at me, but it ain't gonna last very long.
Sorry,
Well,
with my
I was
mouth.
no, I was like, it was just confirming. I was confirming that we are just a little bit more than a month away from our first DC
Doesn't seem like
movie
it, does
Of
it?
the decade.
release of the decade.
The decade.
Of the decade.
What is it, Adam?
Wait, yeah, okay, this is a new decade, right? It starts
is,
at
yeah.
0. I remember you could argue
There's
that.
always this weird talk that does it not start the new decade. I know.
Right, does it start with a 1 or a 0?
Right, I get it.
Welcome to the table, Adam Gertler.
So somebody mentioned how it was months, like years before BVS when we started the show.
Yeah, it's true.
But now we get new movies all the time. We got one from the past year, getting all kinds of awards, Oscar consideration. Features a character.
I got my screener for it too. I've been watching
Oh,
it. I got a screener of it.
and how do you like it upon reviewing?
I love it. I love it.
It really holds up. I think it holds up.
You're saying I've been watching it like often?
Yeah, just pop it in.
Just pops it in. So that
Sorry for you,
character,
Shannon.
the Joker, you know him, is affiliated with another character who's in the very next movie.
Yes, sir.
Harley Quinn. One I'm
Yes.
talking about, Harleen Quinzel.
One Harleen Quinzel.
And this character was the Joker's girlfriend on Batman the Animated Series,
Yes.
probably circa 92, I would say.
Yeah.
Since then, this character became hugely popular, transcended cartoons, made her way into comics. Now, she has one of the best cartoons on television that's been a while, animated series,
think
whatever
it's
you want to
great.
call it.
It is,
It's great
It is
show.
perfection.
It's fantastic.
It's so good.
And now we're going to see, after her film appearance in Suicide Squad, a film that was really financially successful and very divided among critics
we?
and fans, is going to be returning to the screen in Birds of Prey on February 7th.
We don't.
Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of
Of
one
one
Harley
Harley
Quinn.
Quinn.
Margot Robbie has gone on to confirm that you will not see Jared Leto's Joker in this movie.
So, anybody surprised by this?
By what? That
By
we're not
what
gonna see it
Adam
in?
just said?
Not we're not going to see. He said a lot of stuff. Which part of it was?
By the fact that we're not going to
No,
see
it doesn't surprise me at
Joker?
all. It doesn't surprise me at all. This is a separate thing. Like,
What about we saw that one shot though where you see her walking out. We can kind of see what looks like his Joker in the window. Do you think we'll see that
I
in a
think
blurry?
the Joker will be in the film, just not a physical presence.
Right.
Like there will not be a physical. It won't be an actor from behind, being Jared Leto's Joker. I think he will. The whole movie is her emancipating himself from the grasp of the Joker and finding her own stuff. So the Joker's presence, and especially where they left at the end of the Suicide Squad, the first one, he came back for her. But so there's
Yeah.
definitely history there.
Let me ask you this, Adam.
Oh, please.
Do you think there's any chance she's not telling the truth?
I don't because it would be a weird way to just kind of make it negative. Like,
Yeah.
it seems like it's the kind of thing like don't expect it. We don't want you to see it.
You don't need it. I
You
think-
don't need it. I don't know. That's not the vibe I'm getting from this. I know where you're going with that because sometimes if you want to keep something secret, but this is not a character that was well liked. So hiding it wouldn't turn
Be
fans
beneficial,
on. No,
yeah.
and especially coming off this Joker movie, the best thing they could do for this movie is to only have Joker be talked about.
It's the Joker, no matter who it is, and people like Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is now kind of taken over the zeitgeist.
Ryan, I don't know if you can find it on the fly, but early on we saw some set photos that had her looked like she was leaving the apartment with her bags, and looked like you saw the Joker in the window behind her. But that was kind of like a blurry Joker that did kind of look like
Yeah.
Leto's Joker. So I think you'll see that if anything.
And other references, I believe, too.
Yeah. Mike,
yes, sir.
I don't know. We've talked about Birds of Prey too much. Where's your anticipation for
It's
this
interesting.
film?
I don't know because I
It's
I
kind
think,
of like what we've been saying.
I just feel I don't know. This is I want to say it kind of has a vibe of DC Films 2015 where we were excited because one was coming out, but it wasn't what we were given was not what we would think. Like we haven't seen any shots of costumes, but the talk is there. But everyone says they get the costumes. Black Mask has a black mask.
right.
Like, but we have. But then again, we really haven't seen that much footage of the film. Like, but on the other hand, look at the Joker. We really didn't see much from that. We didn't expect much from it, and it gave us phenomenal. Like, I don't know what to think. I'm very much.
I agree with you because we're hearing a lot about the film, but we
Yeah.
haven't seen hardly
Right.
anything of the film,
No.
really. I mean, we were hearing that it's as Margot Robbie has said, she wanted to see a Harley with a girl gang. She wanted
Right.
to see her emancipated from the Joker. She wanted this R rating, which is another story that we had to talk about, that she wanted the R rating even before Deadpool came out.
And it got the R rating.
And they did get the R rating. Since then, you've had Logan, Deadpool, and Joker prove that there's more than an audience for R rated.
Well, I think just based off the character of Harley Quinn, if you want to have all of the things to play with in your toolbox, then you have an R rating because her character it could go with an R rating.
Also, Black Mask could
Go with an
well
R rating,
go
yeah.
with an R rating.
Right, which I always think that's weird because this is a character that was born on an animated show that was on in the middle of the
Yeah,
afternoon.
I'm not saying that it is 100% required, but it's not like
But they
Harley
pushed-
Quinn R-rated.
They pushed the
Why?
sexuality of her on that cartoon. They really did.
It was a very mature show.
But like when I think Black Mask, he's very in this incarnation is very flamboyant, showy, kind of going against what I think of Black Mask. But I hope we're not going to get like the last scene of them finally.
Are you
suiting
saying
up.
that based off what you've seen or heard? Because the
Seen.
flamboyant part I had
Seen.
heard but didn't see.
I saw it. Like he's got those flashy suits. He's kind of got like the slicked hair. He's kind of like, he's.
Oh,
in a
this goes back to
club.
our camp conversation. It's a bit camp.
I think it's a small budget film. It's characters that
It is.
no
It's
one is
on par to
invested
the
with.
Joker budget, yeah.
No one's I don't say invested with, but like Cassandra Cain, Helena Bertinelli. These aren't these Batman Supermans where they've
Right.
got to get it right, or if they mess with it, it's.
So potentially there's a lot of freedom in that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm going in like after. Hey, I'll admit it. Like my thoughts with Joker. I didn't want that film made. I didn't know why they were making it. I walked out absolutely loving it. So this film, like I'm glad they make it. I didn't want to see it. I love Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I just watched her. She's really good in Gemini Man.
She
I
was
know people didn't like
excellent
that
in
movie,
that movie.
but I
She was-
loved her in that film.
She was excellent in it.
And
Should've
it's- and
watched that
I know
on the
people love
plane.
her from Scott Pilgrim, but this is what I love. I fell in love with her in Gemini
I
Man.
agree. I agree.
So everyone, all the pieces involved, I'm loving. But again, I think we kind of got to get out of that way. It's like, and I just recently was watching a lot of Marvel over the holidays. Marvel just hit. This is the comic and this is the movie, and they translated it so well.
Yeah.
It seems what DC we're doing is we're doing different choices. Like it's not when I think Birds of Prey, I think of the Gail Simone run but Gail Simone has 100% supported this film. She's seen like stuff. She's supporting it 100%. So I'm just like, that's the woman that everyone praises as the end all be all of Birds of Prey. So you've got that person saying this about the films. Like I kind of need to just say, hey, you guys have earned my trust. DC doesn't need to sell me. I show up and
Curious from you guys at home right now in the chat, if you are watching live or after, if you want to put it in there, then thumbs up in the actual chat thing, the emoji, if you guys think this is going to be any good, and thumbs down if you don't think it's going to be any good.
Yeah, 'cause-
and while you're throwing thumbs up in the actual video.
But it's also
Thank you.
it's a February release. It's a great time to release a film like this. There's not that much competition around it.
No, I know. The stage is set for it to be a colossal hit.
Yeah.
If it's just good. But we're going to hear within the next couple of weeks.
We should.
Screenings are going to start to happen,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then we go through this every time we get close to a movie. They keep things sort of wrapped in mystery. You kind of get an idea of a feeling. And I said at this point, I certainly had a better feeling of what Joker was. This far away from Joker.
Yeah.
I understood what that film was. I still don't know how much comedy, how much fourth wall breaking, how much... I mean, to compare it to Deadpool, for example, I knew what that movie was before they even made it from that sample footage. You knew what the film was. So my concerns are how led this is by Margot Robbie, who's not a comic book person. She's a big, huge Hollywood star that is the producer who had a lot to do with getting this movie greenlit. And a lot of the story, I think, comes from what she worked on with the writers and the director. And I don't know... I don't know how good a storyteller or a writer she is.
A good point to that is, you said, my first thought was like, well, Margot Robbie knocked the character out of the park the first time she got it. So we should trust her. But then I look at Deadpool and Deadpool 2. Deadpool 1 is significantly better than Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
And the missing link in those was Tim Miller. A lot of people do not give Tim Miller enough credit for creating Deadpool, what he brought. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is the character, but Tim Miller's story sensibilities and story really solidified that. So, a lot of people didn't like Suicide Squad because it was all disjointed and whatnot. And I know there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff, but it's Kathy
But most
Ann,
people
right?
like her in it. Most
That's
people.
what I'm saying. She's the solid element.
She did a great job of translating that cartoon character to a more solidified character. A lot of thumbs. We're getting a lot of thumbs in the chat.
Thumbs.
Thank you very much.
I will say it is predominantly thumbs up. There are some thumbs down, but mostly thumbs up and some hang loose. So who knows what that means.
It just real quick, because I don't see it on our list here, but where we got this. Did you guys read that with Suicide Squad? Ayer was talking about what he would change and whatnot, and they said that the whole dancing in the sky machine thing, that was supposed to be a mother box.
Yeah.
Did you read that?
I did not see that.
It was a mother box. He tweeted out, he's like, this was a last minute change because of the whole Snyder's Justice League falling apart. That was supposed to be her channeling a mother box. And you're like, oh my gosh, why would Because what could have been? It's
Yeah.
like it makes so much more sense.
They
Yeah, that
really
does make
just
sense.
they
Anyway,
stopped the
but
train.
yeah, I know we didn't see that, but he had tweeted that out recently. He follow Ayer on Twitter. He talks about that, and it seems like all these directors, kind of with the Snyder now, just going, "Hey, I don't care anymore. I got nothing invested. I'll shoot and I'll tell you what you want to know." So
Well, we were talking about Ewan McGregor. Ryan, did we show that picture of Black Mask threatening Margot Robbie's character?
Here we go, right here.
there it is.
Oh,
Little Zaz in the background there.
yeah. I mean,
I mean, it's Ewan McGregor. Like,
who I love
in everything he does. So I'm like,
I thought he was so good in Doctor Sleep, which I
didn't see
think
it.
I
had a
didn't
lot
see
of
it either.
issues, but I loved watching him.
He's
He went
great
through.
anything.
He's so
Excuse me.
grounded. I'm so down for what they're gonna do
Down
with
to
the
clown?
with old Ben or whatever. You know, the Ben Kenobi
Mm-hmm.
show that's coming. Like, here's a guy who, while the prequels when they came out, the Star Wars prequels I'm talking about,
Yeah.
were pretty maligned from the beginning, and some people have come warmed up to him, some not. Nobody ever had a problem with Ewan McGregor
No, he
as
was-
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
and if you watch those, I have watched those ad nauseum the past couple years. He's so
right
good
for your training.
Yeah.
What is he threatening her with?
Is that a knife? Pliers?
It looks
It
like.
looks. Is that a barbershop knife? Like when
like
they
a butter
fold
knife.
a butter knife?
Does
Oh,
it
that's
to you
that's
guys?
threatening with the butter knife.
I bet that she's gonna kind of give him like, I was with the Joker for like 4 years. Like, what do you think? You're gonna scare me?
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
can't wait to. I really hope that like them matching wits, you know, dueling it out is gonna be really good. All I'm saying, don't take this as a negative rant. Is I don't know. And I'm surprised that I don't have a better
I like going to
impression
things.
of what I do
Not
too.
knowing like this.
I do too, and I'd like to think that they're holding it back because they want to surprise people.
Even though I
but-
knew the Joker, a lot of A to B's in it. There was so much in there I was surprised by.
But the tone you understood,
Yes,
right?
yes,
You
yes,
understood
yes,
what the
yes.
tone
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
And that's what I'm saying is like, and I don't know if that's just the difficulty in marketing this film. Are they going to really just try to
'cause
sell
you've
it on
got- think
Harley
about it.
Quinn
You've got
DC?
Harley, you've got all these female characters you want to market to women and young kids, but you can't because it's an R-rated film. That's an interesting line, and the fact that they stuck by the R rating speaks volumes about the film.
Yeah, and
You know,
it's
because they're going to
also
be releasing pops and all that, and T-shirts for
if
kids.
there's
and-
anything to make DC's films more different than Marvel, you have two characters that are intrinsically related with each other now in opposite tonalities,
Yeah.
but both rated R.
Yeah.
Before, I mean, they are just all over the map with what they're doing, which I think is great. I'm all down for.
Since we've done that, we've had $2 billion films and a film that was resounding success with critics.
Yeah,
And
no,
so it's
their
like
strategy is
what they're doing is
make the film when the film looks ready. We're not
let
thinking
the
about the
filmmakers
big
do their
picture.
thing.
Right. They're
And-
basically paying like the higher up executives are playing goalie, and they're not letting anything get past
Yeah.
if they really believe in it.
And I think that's I'm
And then they let the filmmaker make the film. Another great example of a film that was less financially successful, but was a hit by most accounts, was Shazam.
Shazam.
And one of the things that it did was pretty much, on a day, Roxy, when you're very much aware of the up and downs
Of this
being
industry,
of
yes,
this industry.
yes, friend, I certainly am.
So Zachary Levi, who was a guy who was a successful actor by all rights.
It's so funny to see you hear these stories, and it's that when I look at him I was like, wow, he was a hit series Chuck. He was on a Marvel film. And even though after that he was just like wanted to give up the industry.
Died
He was
very
just like,
quickly
what's up?
in that Marvel film.
What's up?
He was gone very fast.
Yes.
He was-
Well, he had no Dark World though.
he was in the he was in the second one.
And he was
Yeah.
supposed to be original in the original one. He was supposed to be Thandro, but his schedule with Chuck wouldn't allow it. So they got
So
I want to read his quote.
Yeah,
though,
please
so
read
you
his
guys
quote.
know,
Please do, Rox.
because, like you talked about, talking about the ups and downs. He says, "quote This last year has been fascinating. The last few, actually. 2 years ago today, I was moving to Toronto for the fourth time, 3 years to begin working on Shazam, one of the single greatest gifts I've ever been handed. Ironically, just 4 months prior, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to live anymore. My goals and visions and hopes and dreams and therefore expectations for myself have always been a lot," which is quite the statement. I think that this was on Instagram.
it was
Did you see it?
Instagram. Yeah, it was Instagram.
So he talked about this a little more. He said, "When I surveyed my life a few years back, I genuinely felt like I was failing it, failing myself, failing my family, failing the world. I didn't feel worthy of the love that was around me. I didn't feel worthy of any of the things I had achieved up to that point. And when presented with an opportunity to audition for Shazam the first time, I turned down the opportunity as I ultimately didn't feel worthy of such a role. Then came therapy. Then came the beginning of finally loving myself, and then became the miracle that was me stepping into this life-changing role. I will no doubt be on the journey of self-love for the rest of my life, or for the rest of life, and I'm so grateful for the lessons and strength found through the darkness. But I will also be forever indebted to David F. Sandberg, Peter Safran, Richard Brenner, and everyone at New Line Cinema and Warner Brothers Pictures and DC Comics for believing I was worthy of wearing this cape, even while I was still learning to believe that myself.
Wow. Yeah, I just think, for myself, all of us, we do this show. We all work in some aspect of the entertainment industry. Roxy, you got some shocking news yesterday, right?
Yeah, I did about Collider Live not being a show anymore. Therefore, I lost my job.
Yeah, and I found out that FX Movie Download, which I've been doing for 5 years, is not going to be produced anymore, which I expected. I expected the Disney merger to get to me at some point. And because of that, because we're in this world, we have a lot of side hustles, right? Like my thing is Doghouse or whatever, but even people, no matter how high you get up the ladder, you always think at the next stage you're going to be free and it's all going to be good, and that never happens.
You're right. Yeah.
I mean,
completely.
It's like, gosh, I forgot. I remember a quote from years ago that Bruce Willis was upset and he was hating things because he was not getting the roles that were being offered to George Clooney. So you think of a guy like Bruce Willis.
That's crazy,
biggest
right?
movie star, and this is like 10 years ago this quote was happening. Biggest movie star in the world, never has to work a day in his life he doesn't want to, but he's upset, he's not happy with life because he's not getting those meaty roles that Clooney had, like Syriana and stuff like that. So it's like, no matter what level you are in life,
I know.
everyone's experiencing different,
Yeah,
things.
and also the mind F that puts you through, like wondering when you hear no so often, wondering if you are good enough or if he should even audition for this role. I think we all look at Zachary Levi and think you're a handsome, talented,
it's like you were a
wonderful,
lead on a series that everyone loved. How is life not roses?
Yeah.
It's not, and then there's people maybe below our level that are trying to get in the industry, and they're like, "Well, you're this and that, and you got this." It's like, well, how are you not?
and no matter what stage you are,
there's always.
There's right, and I think for at least for me personally, it's been like this for a long time. It's always ups and downs. So you really do have to embrace the struggle, the journey, and you have to answer a question for yourself: is how much can I tolerate and keep moving forward and be okay with that?
Because this is the life that we chose.
Because it's the life that we chose.
There is no it's now not woe is me because of the life I've chosen, but it's just I've learned that I have to stop looking. What's next? I got to hustle next instead of just going, look at what I've got.
Yeah.
Like this show. I look at this show. Like there are times I've texted you guys after the show and I'm just like, thanks guys. I love this show. It's that 1 hour of the day where I can just enjoy. I'm not thinking in advance and stuff.
And and I know, and I do want to move on, but it's like, so this show, we all do this. We volunteer to do this show. We don't get paid to do this. But even when I'm doing a show like FX Movie Download, where I'm getting paid very well to talk about movies, I'm still reading stuff off a prompter, and I'm not allowed to say negative things if I think it, because we're showing a movie on FX. You come here, and we're able to be real and engage with people in real time and talk about things that we're generally passionate about. And it's those kind of things, even if they're not paying you money, they're still feeding your soul, and you move on. So it's not all about what is financial remuneration. It's about the payment comes from all different places.
Agree. And imagine going back to Zachary Levi for a second, not feeling worthy, and then the next thing you do is being a superhero. You are now embodying, you're embodying a superhero, and thinking about what that does for your self-esteem when the previous thing he said was that he didn't know if he wanted to be here on this planet anymore. So that's why you can't take yourself out of the game because you don't know what's next.
But to his with the sayings, like you see it in his performance. You 100% see, because I remember seeing the movie.
He's excellent.
I don't use this for very often with movies. It felt wonderful. It was just warm, loving film, and you could tell that from the performance that he gave. So I think it infected his life with that. And it's like, and thank you that character we have him now.
Because you could tell the 15-year-old version of him was more brooding than like the 40-year-old version.
Yeah,
he's having a blast.
Yeah, 100%.
Perfect time.
Some guy who doesn't have a blast at these movies is Martin Scorsese, who we've talked about before.
Very valid.
This is, and I don't want to keep, this is 2020. I don't want to harp on this, but this was such a funny quote.
2020. It's my birthday.
Very funny quote on his last talk about the Joker.
He's still going on it?
Kind of.
Poor
well,
guy.
because he was talking about Marvel movies. He'd really steered clear of the Joker movie because, for a while it was rumored that he was a producer or he was sort of a producer because his producing partner is a producer. No, this is not the case. Martin Scorsese, love him for being consistent. Roxy, what did he have to say about Joker?
I saw clips of it. Joker. I know it. So it's like, why do I need to? I get it.
I saw clips.
It's fine.
I saw clips of it.
Yeah.
I know it's Joker, but it's like, where do we need to go? It's good. It's fine.
It's fine. I get it.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
I know.
Yeah, Joker. Hey, why don't I see it?
I mean, just the most.
Yeah, talk about it. Yeah, a Joker.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I
He
saw.
doesn't give a rat's.
I saw clips of it.
Good for him.
Talk about damning with faint praise. That
Don't
is
you
hilarious.
love the people that I love? Like, imagine the Academy looking at this. Like, how did you guys make your Academy votes? Well, I saw clips of it, and it was fine. So, therefore,
Yeah, I saw clips.
I saw
It's fine.
clips.
It's fine.
It was
Those are
fine.
clips.
It's funny, like, because his movies they're less fun than they used to be, with the exception of Wolf of Wall Street. Like, did you see Silence?
I did not.
I did not.
Silence
I did see it.
is a rough movie. Some
That
people
was
think
Liam
it's
Neeson,
brilliant. And
Adam
yes.
Driver.
Yes.
Adam Garfield.
Ryan, were you a fan?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be fun. It was not fun.
We thought it was gonna be
it's-
fun.
It is a torturous
Ryan.
movie.
It was rough.
And Irishman is kind of not so much fun
I
either.
loved Irishman though.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
good. It's better than Silence, but Wolf of Wall Street is like old school Martin Scorsese. It's fun to be with really bad people. So, I don't know.
Just to give some love to my old employers, Collider, Matt Goldberg did an article on this who was talking about the Joker thing. And I love this. He says, imagine making a movie that's all about how much you love Martin Scorsese. And Martin Scorsese is like, that's nice.
Yeah, I saw clips of it. That's fine.
pretty much
Yeah.
what it
Yeah.
Do
So,
something
like
else.
clips. Everything about Bobby Dean.
Unreal.
clips.
Unreal. So good.
Oh, my
fine.
goodness. Well, that's not going to stop Todd Phillips and Joaquin from making a sequel if they want to. This is nothing really new. It's just to say that recently, when asked about whether or not there would be a Joker sequel, they're still open to it. It sounds like Todd Phillips is waiting to be commissioned for a script or something like that. He's like, there's not even a contract for a script. Roxy, do you have any
Yeah,
more
he
specifics
said
on that?
when a movie does $1 billion and costs $60 million to make, of course it comes up, like the question about a sequel.
Sure.
But Joaquin and I haven't really decided on it. We're open. I mean, I'd love to work with him on anything, quite frankly, but so who knows? But it would have to be a real thematic resonance the way this one did, ultimately being about childhood trauma and the lack of love and the loss of empathy. All those things are really what made this movie work for us, so we'd have to have something that had an equal thematic resonance. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's the right answer. It's kind of like if anyone was a fan of Watchmen, it's what Lindelof has said about Watchmen. It's like they're not going to do it. They're not being forced to do it unless the idea is right.
Are you talking about a second
Sequel.
season?
Second season of Watchmen, yes, not a sequel to the Zack Snyder film. That's basically where they're holding, and I for one like that because we don't have a lack of content, so I don't need to see a follow-up if it's not going to be worthy. And to be honest, at this point, I don't want to see a sequel to Joker. I want to see more movies in that milieu, if you will. I would like to see other takes on other characters. Don't have to be villains, don't have to be Batman. Just kind of taking that idea of using the blueprints of classic great drama and applying it to a comic book interpretation, which is great. I don't know. I feel like that was a perfect story. I feel like it ended. Like, if it's not going to involve Batman, I don't want it.
Did you read the recent thing? I think it came out this past week where they were saying what the original ending for the Joker film was.
Yes,
Where
I just heard that.
He was the one that kills the Waynes, sees Bruce sitting there, smiles and just walks away, and then turns and shoots him dead.
Well,
and then go fade to black.
okay.
What did you think of that?
That to me would have been like, this is its own thing. We are not part of any DC. The way they left it, it leaves it open. Like, he could come eventually in this Batman universe.
I'm really glad somebody else killed the Waynes as a result of the chaos
Right.
caused by the Joker, because we already saw Jack Napier in a Batman movie do it. In the first Batman movie, that would have been the least original thing.
It works so good when it's random violence.
Yeah.
Random violence with the Waynes is what makes it work to me.
I don't know whether, because usually I feel like I have a strong opinion on these things.
You
but
usually have a strong opinion about everything, Rox.
I feel like either thing works. I feel
That's
like
what I'm saying,
either thing works.
It closes off, like we talk about being a definitive end. That is the definitive end of this. Whereas now because
I'm okay
we
with
did
either.
love it so much.
I'm
like,
okay
let's
with
go
the way
on.
they did it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the way that they were gonna do it.
I really like how this movie ends. I like when there's a little trace of ambiguity. It's with that great scene outside where he puts the blood. Yeah, I mean that was great. And then the very confusing, tricky, ambiguous ending. I think it was no perfect. I don't think you need to put a bullet in little boy Bruce to nail the point home. I think they made.
I agree. Yeah,
I think they made the better choice.
They did. Yeah. Calmer heads prevailed.
Calmer heads prevailed. Looking forward to 2021.
2020.
We have two very exciting properties, obviously.
Yes.
The Batman and James Gunn working on Suicide Squad. He said that it has the biggest sets of any movie he's worked on.
That's saying something. He's
Yeah.
been on a Marvel film.
Big
Those
set.
are
He's
huge.
also said before that it's the most fun he's had of any film.
I
he's
read that
worked
because
on.
I so many times I try to get not sucked into clickbait articles. I'm like, okay, let's see what
I
this
know.
is. But he had said, he's like, hey, I've got the crew from Guardians 1, 2, and 3 with me, like various crew members.
Right.
He's got some of the cast.
Right.
Rooker's in there. So it's like I think it's like pick and choose. It's like his fantasy football. Now he's got everyone working on a DC property.
Yeah,
And I think he's just having a blast. I think Fillion's in there, so
I know that we have this up right now for people who are watching on YouTube, but for those of you guys who are listening to this and not seeing it, this was actually an Instagram Q&A that he did, and the question that
He does those a lot.
Yeah,
He's really
he does.
funny.
A question that he was asked was, can we expect big, elaborate sets in Suicide Squad like the prison in Guardians of the Galaxy? And he said the Suicide Squad will have by far the most and the biggest practical sets of any movie I've ever worked on. So that was his response.
great.
Yeah.
Eat this one carb for the most ripped abs you've ever seen. That's the one clickbait article that always gets me.
I get the
This
ones
one
about
carb. Why can't you just tell me the carb?
I will
like,
watch
this super
videos
pill,
like that for 45 minutes and they won't answer the question.
This super pill that was just approved by the FDA will increase your intelligence by 22%.
And
I'm
I
just like,
will-
what is it?
I know. Me too. Me too.
Give everybody the super pillow. Then we have a race
not
of
a pillow,
super
it's a
genius.
pill.
And then I get to the end of it and it's
Oh.
nothing.
Well, it should be a pillow.
Got me again. All right.
He also reiterated that he had the buffet of what to choose, that right after he was fired temporarily from Marvel, they brought Gunn in and they were like, what do you want to do? And they even offered if he wanted to do a take on Superman. He didn't do one. He wanted to do Suicide Squad is what he said. Because he's been a fan of the property. But some people thought that when they said, even if we're interested in a take on Superman, doesn't have to be necessarily, he said something about it doesn't necessarily have to be a follow-up to Man of Steel. And some fans took that to mean that at that time, Warner Brothers was already moving away from Cavill, which I think is kind of true. I think they already made that decision after Justice League.
Yeah,
personally.
he also was just talking about how this has been talked about many, many times now.
Yeah.
That it's been reported about the DC movies that he decided, and his quote is, I chose the Suicide Squad because it's one of my favorite properties in the world. It's the story I wanted to tell more than any other.
That's what I want a director to do. I don't want a director. That's the only thing we talk about Man of Steel. Everyone's like, I want a Man of Steel film, blah, 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 this and that.
Man of Steel is
Sequel.
Zack Snyder's movie, baby.
Right.
They're not doing a Man of Steel 2.
I know.
And guess what, guys? They're certainly not going to do one 10 years after the first one.
No.
If they wanted to do it, they would have done it already.
So
it's
but also
2020,
on this
guys.
is
We're
they
moving
need
forward.
to get a director that wants to make a Superman film.
Yeah.
You can't have a director that's like, yeah, I'll do that for you. Like, you've got to have the passion to do that. So
I'm starting off 2020 saying there's no way we're going to see Cavill as Superman again. That's what I'm saying.
I think over that. I don't remember the last time we talked about it, but I think I don't remember what I said.
I
Did say the ship
generally
has
reverse
sailed?
my opinion on that, like every couple of weeks.
I know, me too.
I'm just saying in 2020, I'm starting it off. I'd like to keep it going. But we do have some breaking The Batman news for you. Jacqueline Duran is confirmed as the costume designer for The Batman. Ryan, not familiar with this person.
Rox is going deep
Yeah,
on it.
but
What
where are you
films?
seeing the confirmation?
This is on comicbook.com as per source for Deadline, and
We like Deadline.
Jacqueline has won best costume designer at the Oscars
we
for
go.
Anna Karenina. She just did Little Women this year, as well as 1917.
Not Little Women,
It's done a
that's
lot
the
of
one.
good period piece films like Darkest Hour.
Macbeth, Pan.
I'm
She
going
did stuff for
to-
Black
this
Mirror,
isn't-
Beauty and the Beast, and it is on her IMDb right now as in pre-production for the Batman.
So let me say this. It depends on when it was said, because this is interesting, because this film is supposed to start shooting in like 2-3 weeks. And then they are filming some stuff right now. I do not, when they say
It looks
costume
like this
designer,
article was posted by Deadline on January 2nd at 10 in the morning.
Yeah, it means she's probably had the job for like months. At
I was
this
gonna say,
point.
is like that suit is built by now. That suit is designed and built right now.
If
They're
she-
talking this bat suit.
if she's the costume
That's the thing, is she
designer,
got a
is she the
designer?
costume designer for the actual suit?
That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of times they have the costume designer, but then they also have the person that's dressing the film.
She
What
is for
Bruce
the actual
Wayne's-
suit.
Okay.
There was
Okay,
a quote
so-
actually Pattinson saying when he put the costume on, he felt powerful immediately, and Matt
So that's what I'm
Reeves
saying.
going,
Like
"You
this is
better."
this is
Hold on,
probably
let him finish the quote.
Matt Reeves just saying, "I hope it does." You're literally in the bat suit, so
Yeah.
she has designed the bat suit, and it apparently.
But
has
how do you know she designed the bat suit?
So this article goes into how she has done a unique rubberized armor for it.
Oh, they're really
and
going
has
off.
Really put in her taste into this suit, so she is the designer.
See
Wow.
that, and that, I think that links to we always say we're like where you hear certain things where someone it's officially now
Yeah.
announced, but they've been
of
together for
course.
months.
Right,
I was gonna say
just
when I
like-
first heard this, I was like, well, the suit's been. There's no way they're starting filming next week, and the suit's not designed yet.
Were you
Do you
here
guys
when I told
remember-
you? Sorry, what's that?
Do you guys remember that there was? It was obviously a different suit, but they had to audition in the suit. That's how big the suit is in Batman's.
Well,
lore, so-
every Batman film, the actors audition in a suit, but it's usually the suit from a previous film.
I'm just saying that's how early they're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, sure,
That's
sure,
how
sure.
long
That's
It's
the-
a big
the
part of
look.
the
That's
film.
You gotta
huge. It's
look
the Batman.
good in the suit.
And
Like,
the
you
suit's
have
got
to
to look
look-
good, and the
yeah.
suit's got to look different than the suit
Can I
we've
just
seen
say,
before.
I like
this is
that
the time-
Fudge Packer in the chat says no bat nipples, and then our chat automatically sees nipples and tries not to show the
I
comment.
love the fact that this time of year, every time right before a Batman film comes out, I salivate at the thought of that first reveal in the suit.
Yeah.
I'm like, because I remember it was May of 2004, May of 20, Entertainment Weekly first posted the first Christian Bale in the suit. He was hunched over on that railing. You know, you couldn't see too much of the suit. Then it was in 2007, Entertainment Weekly did him on the car with the new suit. Then they did that black and white Affleck reveal. We're going to get that shot soon. I can guarantee it.
You think soon?
Absolutely. They're not
What's
going to do.
soon?
I'd say within a month.
By Comic Con.
You think you're going to get a shot
oh.
of Batman within a
We are-
month?
Entertainment Weekly is going to get they're going to get the exclusive scoop, and it won't be maybe a full. He'll be like in shadow or something because they are not going to get that suit far away from some spy cam. And
All right, guys.
and we will get. And I guarantee this before. If they have a Batmobile sequence, they're going to put the Batmobile out before we get a sequence. They will
want-
not ruin that. They always do Batman reveals
I want predictions here. You're saying
within
by
a month.
when?
I'll say by the time we see Birds of Prey, we get a officially released. This is Robert
by
Pattinson
February
as Batman.
7th.
What do you say?
I'm taking the over on that for sure.
Yeah, me too. But where I want us to record this, Ryan. I want to. Well,
I
we
think
gotta have a bet.
I would say by Comic Con this year.
Comic Con 6 months from now?
Yeah, I would say by July.
No way.
I'm gonna go in the middle, and I'm gonna say June because that's when Batman movies are supposed to come out.
Okay.
And the next one is coming out. in
let
June.
me preface this. If
That's a year. That's a year.
if they're
June is a
doing
year.
any kind of, so the film is a year and 4 months away, 5 months away, less than a year and a half.
I see what you're saying. I think I know where you're gonna go. Go ahead.
If they are filming outside,
Right, I
they
know.
will not.
Be able to.
They're not going to do a Shazam thing. Remember that backlash when they saw him in that suit?
I don't disagree with you that they should release something. I just don't think that in the next month. You could be right though, but I don't think so.
We've been talking about this movie for, and I'm not talking Affleck's version. I'm just talking since Matt Reeves took over with Pattinson and us. They're going strong. Now we're getting into that. We're not going to get much.
Were you?
But we will get a picture of him in that
Were
suit
you
soon.
on the show when I was talking about my chance meeting with Michael Giacchino and he told me like he already has
Yes.
the theme?
Yeah.
That was cool. And I also met somebody else who's working on the stunt team of the movie, and I have a very detailed stunt sequence that I cannot reveal because I swore to secrecy. But I'll tell you guys afterwards.
It sounds good.
I'll tell you when
but
we're not
I'm
public.
just saying
Damn.
we're
But it's pretty
ramping
sick.
up. We're ramping up. Suicide Squad is done, like filming. I think they already announced that. And remember, everyone they saw those costumes. Everyone was like, "Look at that! It looks like
know.
crap." But this is a film. You got to get it right out of the gate.
That's what
That
Zack Snyder
picture.
did. To his credit,
Yeah,
that's
what I'm
why
saying.
he put out that
he's
lit
like,
photo.
I took this thing with my Leica lens, and it was the suit with Batman, and it was awesome.
Here's what I want
a
people.
full almost 2 years before BVS came out. That was in of 2014, spring of 2014. That shot came out 2 years before the film was released.
Here's what I want people to do right now in the chat, guys. If you're in the live chat
Roxy's
or
telling
if
you to
you're
do something,
commenting,
so do it.
I want you to write the date that you think we are going to see the Batsuit, the date you think we're going to see the Batsuit on here. So whatever you think that date is, and take a screenshot of your prediction.
Yeah.
And then we will know who is right when it finally happens. If you are the person who gets the right date, then we'll sing you a song on DC
Yes,
Movie
if
News
you
or something. We'll
screenshot
do
that
something for
before,
you.
we will send you a DC prize
I'll
or
do
do
something
something
better.
good.
I'll do better. I'll find some DC merch I got at my house and give
Okay,
it to
good,
you.
good. We're gonna get your prize.
Glenn Caesar in the super chat, by the way. Sorry I'm late, but welcome back. And despite the bad news, Happy New Year to you all. Roxy, Mike, and Adam keep killing it. Glenn, thank you so much.
Thank you. Senor Nerd says next week. Next week we'll see R. Pats in the bat suit.
Everybody put the actual date. I
Do you
need
guys
a
watch?
date
Do you guys
from
follow
everybody.
Batman on Film? They're a great website.
Yes.
The Twitter with Jet. He's a guy I love following, and he talks about all the time. So he's also thinking it's coming soon as well.
Okay. You know what? You're right.
I really
because of the
feel
modern,
it's coming soon.
But what if they're filming indoors a lot?
I still think we're gonna get him just to tease the fans. We haven't gotten anything of this. We haven't gotten anything.
We haven't really gotten anything of Suicide Squad either. Well, I guess Suicide Squad comes out
It's gonna be
after,
after,
which
but
is
it's
still
not
so
as.
weird.
But Suicide Squad also has a. It's just a different animal.
I
It's just
know.
a different animal. It's
No,
Batman.
you want-
it's the iconic suit. You could just do silhouette or something.
I gotta
it's,
say
it's
though,
iconic.
while I understand what you're saying because of the way films are done today and the way that we get that photography, I wish it would be later because I want
agree.
Birds of Prey. We got
No, I
Wonder
don't
Woman
say
coming
that.
up.
I want to shot him in that suit because it's always you're always the first
just
shot of
change your
Batman.
mind so
Yeah, yeah.
Because I want.
get whiplash.
We've done the rubber with the full black
Yeah.
rubber. We've done kind of the body armor with Then
Dark
we did the
Knight,
comic accurate. Say what you will about BVS, they nailed a comic accurate bat suit.
Yeah.
That is what if Marvel did a Batman film, that's the suit would have looked like because they nailed it. This suit, I'm hearing talk, is going to be kind of Adam West vibe-ish with the blue and the gray. I hope to God we get a blue and gray. We
I do
haven't had
too
that yet.
because we haven't had that yet.
Blue and gray. I want kind of like the Batman Noel, the Lee Bermejo, his style with kind of it's like leather, but it's kind of patchy.
You know what else we nail?
What's that?
Transitions. What else you got for us, Adam?
Oh, well, we got just a couple of nice, sweet Wonder Woman photos. We got a little
Oh, yeah. Look at her.
Cheetah, Kristen Wiig, perhaps after she gets her wish from
Yeah,
Max
what
Lord.
does she want? She wants a little saucy
And then we
minx.
also have Wonder Woman
Look at her,
in
look
the
at her.
nation's capital, which
She's
looks
great.
awesome.
Yeah.
God, look at that. I didn't see that shot.
No, that's a new one. That came out today.
That came out today?
Yeah.
Look at her.
That's what it's
Look at her. I love
That's
her.
great.
I love her too.
How did you
I
like
love her
that
too.
trailer?
We didn't get to talk about it.
We
I
didn't.
didn't hear. I loved it.
I loved it, too.
I loved it. The whole was it Blue Monday? Is that the
Yeah,
song?
yeah.
I just watched it again recently.
It's very rewatchable
Oh,
because
and
of the way
Chris
they
Pine,
time it.
That damn charming SOB. He's so charming.
Just a trash can.
The trailer is
just
legit
But like-
perfection. I've probably watched
but like
it
that,
400 times.
and then they, like when
Yeah.
the music kicks in and they flash back between Themyscira and they're doing. Oh my god! And the lightning, riding the lightning.
Did you like it?
I loved it, but I loved it for the beginning.
I know.
I'm hearing very things about this that it's a 180 film from the first one.
Yeah.
And so people that are like, if you're going in expecting what you got in the first one, you're going to be thrown off. But I love the fact that it's 180.
Me too.
I want it's the 80s. We were alive in the 80s. This time of excess, the time of
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
That's true. It was. It
No,
was
and then there are
bright,
times where
gaudy,
she
it was
looks she looks exactly like the Wonder Woman from the
Yeah.
TV show when she's wearing the glasses.
Yeah.
Like, so
no,
good.
I'm on board. But that shot is phenomenal.
You want to get some TV time?
Yeah, let's get a little TV time in real quick.
What's TV time?
A little TV time.
It's time for Roxy Strauss TV time. All the
2020
girls from Johnny's fine.
remix.
Adam's cooking so divine.
That's the
Also,
only part that's
Mama's
remixed,
Christmas
is
time.
that I say
Decent
2020
news, it's time to
remix.
talk. TV time.
Well, Roxy.
You know who loves Watchmen as much as Ryan Nelson does?
Who?
President Barack Obama.
Barack Obama.
Yo, I will say, I really enjoyed Barack Obama putting out all of his favorite books that he put
Good for
out
him. I
earlier,
loved it.
and then the movies. Like, this dude is watching a lot of stuff, and he put out.
I think he deserves it.
He's got some
Of course,
time.
totally. And he has great taste. He put out his favorite movies of 2019, but he did a little section in the bottom right corner that also said a quick list of TV shows that I considered as powerful as movies this year. And his list had me dying laughing because the first thing on his list is Fleabag season 2, which is amazing that the president of the United States at one point, like, he watched Fleabag. It's so cool. Unbelievable is the second thing he writes, and then Watchmen is the third. So
great.
Watchmen has made it to
the Prez.
The Prez. Absolutely. Pretty cool. Ryan, did that make you go 6 to midnight real quick?
Oh yeah, and I feel like a lot of people binged it over winter break and are just all in on Watchmen. And the fact that our prior president of the United States is one of his favorite shows just means how great it is.
I was just gonna say it's so crazy. You got to think this many people responding to that show. Most of them have not read the original story.
No, I don't think so.
So this is a show that they managed to make work completely on its own with one of the most
I would have to
beloved
think
properties.
95% of people don't know the book, which is phenomenal to
Yeah.
say.
That's cool.
It's accessible.
I think our current president tweeted out his favorite movies, and he said the top 10 were all Jack and Jill. That was his favorite film. They just watched it all the time. No.
Okay.
Come on.
Guys, Jeff Bezos has
Come
spent
on.
at least $42 million to construct the so-called Millennium Clock in Van Horn, Texas. And it is getting a lot of comparisons to Watchmen right now.
He's calling it the Millennium Clock?
That would be right on.
Millennium Clock.
Wait, that's what they call it. Isn't that what they call it? No, the Doomsday Clock.
The Doomsday Clock.
Doomsday Clock.
Was it 2 minutes to midnight, 3
Yeah.
minutes to midnight, whatever it is?
So there is that. Also, I don't know much about the Batman giving off animated series
I
vibes,
have thoughts
but-
on this.
Okay.
They're filming. I think it's Cardington Studios where Batman Begins. filmed,
Yes.
and they showed these white blimps, but they weren't in the soundstage. I think people are reading too much into this. I think
Right,
those,
that they look like this.
I think those are lighting blimps. I
Oh,
think
okay.
those are. You ever
So
see on
you're not
sets they
seeing
light
them
up those
in- yeah,
things
uh-huh.
and they just give off light?
Yeah.
I think they're just.
I think they're
lighting
also
blimps.
going to be filming in the States as well.
Yeah, but I just think those blimps have nothing to because they said that there's like a cathedral inside the set. There's a funeral that they're filming. Those are just blimps that give off light on movie sets. They let them go in the air and it illuminates the whole area, so you don't
Yeah.
get those giant halogen hot lamps.
Right, but I will say
So-
this to your previous point, not to jump back into movie time, guys. This is TV time, but it crosses over a little bit, so we're in a little bit of a
bit?
gray area. If they do all their inside studio shots, then can they not keep Batman out of the public
And that's
eye?
what I was saying. If they're only
Until
doing
they're doing
soundstagey stuff,
outside stuff.
You're right.
And I know they are going to be doing some outside stuff in certain cities in this country.
Oh, you
but
do know?
I do know.
Do you know?
I do know. I'll tell you later. And I'm assuming that will not be till later.
Okay.
It seems like it's starting
that was
over
my
there.
little caveat.
Exclusive.
It's my
Yeah.
caveat.
Yeah.
My little caveat.
Okay. That's the TV time. We obviously don't have Crisis again for another week and a
Another
half.
week or- yeah, it's coming soon.
Yep. So we will talk all things Crisis after that happens.
We will. Thank you for joining us all. This was exciting to have our team here.
It's exciting. Oh, I thought we were touching.
Oh God, very awkward. We'll edit that out. Mike Kalinowski,
Yes,
where
buddy.
can people find you?
At Mike Kalinowski.
Always being positive in the morning. Roxy Stryer.
Everywhere at Roxy Stryer. Also, I do my own live streams on YouTube. I could use your support more now than ever.
From your bedroom,
YouTube.com/Roxy
right?
Stryer. My bedroom, my living room, I'm all over the place
I
now.
know you
It's going to be now Roxy Live from her bedroom. You can have that one.
Ba-dum-tsh.
I'm Adam Gertler. Buy yourself a ninja. Eat my wieners. I'm at Adam
I
Gertler.
want your balls, your wieners, and you're
Can't
not
have 'em.
delivering.
We'll see you next time on DC Movie News, y'all.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.